Have you ever had that strange feeling that something is wrong, but you just can't point out what? Like the silence in your house sounds different, or the way someone talks suddenly changes, or even their laugh sounds forced. That's exactly how my story began. A feeling that grew day by day until it became a suffocating weight in my chest. And when I finally found out the truth, everything I knew collapsed before me. My name is Michael, I'm 32 years old, and until a few months ago I believed I had the perfect life. Married to the woman I loved since I was 20, a calm home, a stable job, and plans to start a family soon. Emily was the kind of woman everyone admired. Kind, polite, outgoing, and had this light about her that made any place feel alive. I was proud of her. Maybe that was my mistake. Believing too much, trusting too much, loving too much. Things started to change so subtly that I almost didn't notice. First, it was small things. She began staying up late, saying she was watching shows or finishing work tasks. Then came the moments when she was always on her phone, laughing to herself, typing fast. And when I came close, she would instantly lock the screen, like someone afraid of being caught. I tried to ignore it. I told myself it was just paranoia, that every couple has their phases, that she deserved her own space. But her space started to feel like distance, and the distance turned into silence. A cold, heavy silence. The kind that makes you feel invisible in your own home. One night I came home earlier than usual. Emily was on the couch, her face lit up by her phone screen. She didn't hear me come in. I stood there, watching. Her smile was different, the kind I hadn't seen in months, but that used to belong only to me. When she realized I was there, she jumped, hid her phone, laughed awkwardly, and said it was just a funny video. I tried to laugh too, but something inside me broke. From that moment, I started noticing everything, every word, every look, every excuse. She said she was sleeping at her sister's, but she'd return with wet hair and a perfume that wasn't the one she usually wore. She mentioned new co-workers I had never heard of before. And the worst part? She barely looked me in the eyes anymore. I started asking myself, was it my fault? Had I stopped being the man she once loved? Had time erased what we built together? Those questions ate me alive. I lost my appetite, my sleep, my focus. I began coming home earlier, pretending it was by chance, just to see if I could catch something. But she was smart, or maybe just cold. One day I decided I needed to know the truth, and to do that, I had to cross a line I swore I never would. Doubt the woman I loved. I installed a mirroring app on her phone. I felt awful doing it, but the pain of not knowing was worse than the guilt. For days, nothing. Normal chats, work groups, messages with her sister. But one Wednesday night, a notification popped up. A name I didn't recognize. Ryan. The chat started harmless. Jokes, random lines. But as I scrolled, it got more personal, more intimate, more dangerous. She was talking about feelings, about missing him, about good times. My heart started racing. I reread everything, trying to convince myself it wasn't what it looked like. But it was. It was exactly that. That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat on the edge of the bed, watching Emily sleep, wondering how someone could rest peacefully after destroying the heart of the one who trusted them. Her face looked so calm, so innocent, and that hurt even more. I needed to be sure. So I decided I had to see it with my own eyes. That Friday, she said she was going grocery shopping. She got dressed up, too much for a simple trip to the store, and left. I waited a few minutes, then followed. I knew how pathetic it would look, but I didn't care anymore. I drove slowly, keeping my distance. She parked in front of a quiet cafe. She stepped out, looked around, as if to make sure no one was following her, and then he appeared. A tall guy, short beard, confident smile. He hugged her like it was something natural, something they'd done before. My world fell apart. The woman I loved was there, smiling in a way she hadn't smiled at me in months, talking easily, touching his arm, her eyes shining. My hands trembled. I wanted to get out, yell, demand answers, make time stop. But something told me to wait. I needed to know how far this went. I stayed there, watching from my car, sweating, my heart in pieces. They stayed together for over an hour. When she finally left, she still had that same smile, until she got in the car and grabbed her phone. A few seconds later, my phone buzzed. "Hey babe, took a while at the store, but I'm on my way back." That message was the final stab. The next day I acted normal. Kissed her forehead, made breakfast, went through the day as if nothing had happened. But inside, I was planning. I wanted to confront her, not with anger, but with cold truth. I wanted her to feel the weight of every lie. I invited her to dinner, told her I wanted to reconnect, to remember who we used to be. She smiled, said yes, got dressed up. During dinner, while she was talking about random things, I quietly placed her phone on the table, unlocked. I already knew the password. Her face went pale. She tried to play it off, but I simply asked, "Who's Ryan?" The silence that followed was the cruelest of my life. She stammered, tried to deny, but I had seen it all. I showed her the messages, the pictures, the audios. When she started crying, I realized there was nothing left to say. She said she was confused, lonely, that it wasn't what it looked like. But all I could hear was the sound of my heart breaking. That night ended in silence. She slept in the guest room. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying every word, every moment, every lie. Days later, she left, said she needed to find herself. I let her go, not out of pride, but because I didn't have the strength to fight for someone who had already left long before. And the worst part? Months later, I found out that Ryan had left her too. She lost her job, distanced herself from family, lives alone now. They say she's sad, that she can't forgive herself. But the truth is, when you destroy someone's trust, the price is high. And sometimes, punishment doesn't come from others. It comes from within. And if you made it this far, I want to ask you one thing. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, what would you have done in my place? Because this story is more common than it seems. And maybe, by telling it here, I can finally free myself a little from what I lived through. See you in the next video.